Good morning. Welcome. I'm Richard. And this is
Paul.
And this show is called
Easter Sunday Chat!
Easter Sunday Chat. We've just got up, haven't we, Paul?
Yeah, about 3 hours ago.
Oh, literally just rolled out of bed.
About an hour ago he went upstairs to get ready. Yeah.
Paul, don't lie.
Well, the same thing happened last night. I had baked potatoes in the oven and he said, "Oh, I'm just going to take a shower." 3 hours later he came down and we had our supper. They were crispy, those potatoes, weren't they?
Yeah, but I looked good for you, didn't I?
Yeah, I didn't notice actually. No. I looked at the baked potatoes and that took my whole concentration away. They were lovely.
Yeah, that's about right,
What have you
isn't
got
it?
on your lips? You got some oil or something?
They're glossy. I thought I'd make a bloody effort. It's Easter Sunday.
Oh, Easter Sunday Chat!
Admittedly, I think I have put a little bit too much lip gloss on because
Have
my
you put lip gloss on?
No, these are natural. No, I have.
Can you speak?
Actually, I think I've put a little bit too much on because my lips keep sticking together.
Yeah. I think it's quite good. You should like...
No, don't. Don't. It's very sticky. It's called bonbon. Bonbon.
More like poo-poo.
Paul, don't be silly now. So, very, very happy Easter. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, I can see... You've got a big hair on your nose.
What?
It's inside.
Oh, that's okay. Well, we are supposed to have hairs on the inside of our noses.
I've got them on my ears, inside my ear.
Well, it's a protective growth. As long as we keep them under control. Nobody likes an ear beard or a nose beard.
Bush.
Don't say bush, Paul. You know how I love that word.
Bush.
No, don't. I can't smile today.
It would be quite funny if I did that and to bush came
If I
out.
smile, this whole face will crack and fall off.
You've actually got lines there.
Where?
There. Have you been laughing a little bit?
I'm trying not to. Living with you, it's quite hard not to.
So it's Sunday.
So, Easter, the time of the eggs.
I never understood that.
No, neither have I. No, but actually...
Easter bunny and eggs.
No, but the egg itself is a universal symbol. And indeed, I shared something on Planet Vegetaria the other day that actually said that the universe is probably shaped like an egg. Yeah.
Isn't that bollocks?
No, it's true.
What type of egg?
No, shaped like an egg. Egg-shaped. Ovoid.
Like an ostrich?
And the solar system also. And the orbits are not completely circular.
Oh, of course they're not completely... We
No,
know that.
But
The
they're more
planet-
like an egg shape.
Well...
Yeah. Egg, the egg shape,
But
the
eggs-
egg is a universal symbol of life.
Eggs come in so many different shapes that as soon as you go away from an actual sphere, anything really could be egg-shaped.
Oh, Paul, don't be ridiculous.
I mean, Jackie's chickens, she has one chicken that does tiny eggs and they're quite round with just a little at the top. And then she has another chicken, Gerald I think it is, that does really sort of long well, not long eggs, but it's very pointy and egg-shaped because it's an egg.
And your point is, Paul?
Well, my point is that the Earth can be egg-shaped because
I didn't say the Earth.
anything non-spherical could effectively be an egg.
I didn't say the bloody Earth.
You said the solar system,
I was
the planetary movements, the universe, and everything beyond.
And I was opening up a philosophical discussion
Oh.
about the universality of the egg shape. And you, in your usual way, have managed to shut that discussion down with your ridiculous boondoggling.
Egg.
So, we won't be discussing life,
When you
the
do
universe,
that,
and the...
that's sort of an egg, isn't it? That's like an egg shape. Egg.
No, we won't be discussing life, the universe, and Easter myths now, because Paul is being ridiculously stupid.
Is it
No, we're moving on.
Ustera?
We're moving on now.
No, I want to know.
No.
I want to know now.
No, sorry.
I want to know now.
You've
I want
lost
to know
it.
all the myths and legends.
No, you've ruined it.
I'm
Completely ruined
attentive.
it. We're
I'm
moving on
attentive.
to...
No, all the myths and legends.
We're moving on to shout-outs. Shite-outs.
Say that again.
Shite-outs. It's the posh way.
Yeah.
That's what the Queen would say. Shite-outs.
Yeah.
What is giving a shite-out? What? It's the Queen's English.
I know, but
Received
it sounds as if
pronunciation.
she's about to go to the loo, doesn't it?
What?
I don't think the Queen goes to the loo, though. Oh no, we do know she does, yes, because of that toilet in Guernsey at St James Concert Hall. It was put in specially so that she could use the toilet.
And did she use it?
No.
Well, there you go. I'm sure the Queen would trot to any bogger-tree.
She's doing another message today. There's an Easter message coming from her today. I think she's going to do an Easter message about how to hand make chocolate eggs at home. I bet she's going to do that. She's taking a tip out of Jamie Oliver's thing, and she's going to be showing us how to make Easter eggs at home. I think Prince Philip would be quite good at that as well. But of course Charles and Camilla, they won't be able to take part because they're elsewhere, aren't they? They're in Scotland. You shared a photo of Windsor Castle this morning, didn't you? On Planet Vegetaria. You did.
So, do you want to carry on?
No.
No, well, it's a good idea because most of the viewers are now falling asleep.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So, shite-outs. First of all, we'd like to say a big hello to Stuart and his new YouTube channel, Hungry Horticulturalist. It's a nice word, isn't it? Horticulturalist. So Stuart's channel is Hungry Horticulturalist.
You've been following him on Instagram, haven't you?
We follow each other on
Yeah.
Instagram. Go and...
Shall I tell you something that you didn't know about the Hungry Horticulturalist?
Well, Paul, as long as it's interesting and entertainment worthy.
The Hungry Horticulturalist is Planet Vegetaria's 600th member.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Unless somebody leaves.
Well, he was still the 600th member.
Was that this morning?
Yeah, that was like 10 minutes
Oh,
ago.
welcome. Welcome, bloody welcome. So what we'd like you to do is go over to Stuart's YouTube channel and subscribe. Subscribe. Give him some encouragement. We need to encourage and help the smaller channels. Like ours, we're a small channel. We need to help everybody who puts out good content to rise up. Rise up. So
Like
they
a
can,
good dough.
so they can earn a little bit of cash from the YouTube advertising revenue.
That huge amount that gets shared with Google.
Tiny amounts. It's not much. but every little helps.
It's better than nout. Was that good, that accent?
Not particularly, Paul. So we'd also like to say hello to Joe Rose in Weymouth.
Oh,
Lovely Weymouth.
I love Weymouth. I adore Weymouth. Was my first experience of England, the mainland, if you like. And we had so many happy holidays in Weymouth because Dad worked on the boats. We got free boat trip to Weymouth, and we'd stay in a B&B, and B&B had special rates for boat workers then as well, so that was quite cheap. That was up a hill, I remember. I can't remember exactly where. I think it was, it was around the back, up from where the train goes, that's right. And I just adore Weymouth, I really do. And even when we used to go to Guernsey, just driving down and driving along the front to get the ferry to go to Guernsey, because it used to go from Weymouth, it doesn't anymore. My heart just always sort of lifted a little. And remembering walking along the prom and getting ice cream and the Shark arcade game. Do you remember Shark? There was an arcade game called Shark, and all the sand sculptures on the beach at Weymouth. Oh yeah, and the pier and the banana milkshake that you used to get right at the end of the docks, at the cafe at the end of the docks. That's not there anymore. Of course, all of that has changed. Yeah, Weymouth. Oh, and the lovely harbour there with all the fishing boats and things. And then, of course, there's the headland above the harbour. And we used to go to Chisel Beach quite a lot.
Chisel Beach.
Chisel Beach. Dad always called it Chisel Beach because he said all the stones had been chiselled smooth. So we used to go along to Chisel Beach quite a lot. It was, I love Weymouth. I'd like to stay in a B&B in Weymouth one day when all of this is over. Happy memories. Yes, so Joe. Hello, Joe. And also Jerry. Jerry is, Jerry's growing sunflowers, the tallest sunflower, and I think it's sort of competition. I don't think it's competition, it's just grow a really tall sunflower, raising awareness of what the NHS is doing at the moment. And we've suggested that he get in touch with Nick at Nick's Allotment Diary as well, because of course Nick has his big sunflower challenge each year, which we're taking part in. We are. They're quite big at the moment. We did so a few weeks ago, and the giant Russian and the American giant, they're about they're about 3 or 4 inches tall at the moment. I think I'll be putting those on this afternoon. Isn't that fun?
Super fun.
We stayed overnight in Weymouth at the Premier Inn there, didn't we, once?
Yes.
Before we went to Guernsey.
Where you have to go for your dinner in a pub.
Well, or walk into Weymouth, because it's along that sort of strip where there's a saltwater area behind.
Yes, but if you remember, Paul, the weather was rather inclement that night, and we weren't prepared to walk.
We went on the beach though, didn't we?
We did.
We went on the beach, and it was the wind was really rolling in, and the waves were crashing into the beach.
We were nearly blown off.
Yeah, on the promenade. I bet that's happened to a few people. Next.
Suddenly taking control, are we?
Oh, I'll have my drink. Are your feet cold?
Well, you know what they say? Cold feet.
Cold heart.
Cold heart. So, anyway, Paul, talking about the plot, you've been quite busy, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Why don't you tell the viewers what you've been doing down there?
I've been tidying, really. The last few days I've spent good chunks, about 3 hours each day, just tidying and doing the things that I've been meaning to do for ages and have never really got round to. Including, we were given a plastic store cupboard thing not quite sure what they're called, but it's a like plastic store cupboard, and I've been meaning to use it for ages, and finally yesterday I thought, right, I'm going to move all the bricks, move everything from the back of the shed, put it at the back of the shed, nicely tucked away there, and yeah, things are beginning to get nice and tidy. And I've moved the 2 chairs from our first plot down to outside the shed, and the table as well.
Good.
So
But
we
what
don't
have you
have
been
a spare
planting? You've
umbrella.
been planting things.
I've been planting things, but we'll do that in the April tour.
Okay.
But I have been planting out some brassicas. So I read this article that said brassicas, if you plant them out earlier, they're less likely to get attacked by slugs. So I'm sort of doing a bit of a trial for that to see whether that happens. Yeah, we'll see. So far, some of the larger plants have been eaten by slugs, but the smaller ones haven't. Maybe they will be in the future.
And you can plant them out earlier because they're not going to be affected by frost?
No, they're not. They're not. So they're much more hardy. So they're not going to be affected by frosts.
Cool.
But the peas are doing well. Everything's sort of doing well. It's just coming together in my head now about where things are, where other things are going to grow. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Quite
Lovely.
easy.
So when are you going to be doing the plot tour, Paul?
This week, most probably Tuesday.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. This
Good.
Also going to be doing an update on the move from our plot to the newly acquired plot. So that will then close off that series for this year. It's going to be some more work at the end of this year, but not until then.
Lovely. Lovely. How nice. Good. So, television we've been watching. What have we been watching this week?
We watched RuPaul,
We did.
and that was a bit odd because they've taken one of the drag queens sort of out. They didn't show her runway look because of a situation that has happened. But there was also another drag queen they didn't show the runway look, which we didn't understand.
Yeah, it was a bit bizarre, wasn't it? I don't know why, but we are enjoying the new series, season 12.
12.
Yeah, I kind of get the impression that there aren't any standouts at the moment. Really.
No.
Really, they're all pretty much of a muchness. There are a couple of bitches.
Oh, there's one. Isn't
Yeah,
there? Oh,
God,
gosh,
she's really annoying. But anyway, let's not labour on that. The other thing we started watching last night was the new Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh yes, very excited to watch the new Murder on the Orient
Really?
Express. Yes, I was excited too.
Really? We've rented it
Yes.
as a treat, as movie night.
Yeah.
Well, I was falling asleep.
We both were falling
Really?
asleep.
Cinematography is gorgeous, actually, and the CGI is pretty good.
It looks stunning.
The shots are, I mean, every single shot is pretty much a stunning shot. Every single one. So it's a feast for the eyes, and actually slightly too much so.
Right, is it?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit OTT in places.
But it is the Simplon Orient Express, and that
It's
is
what?
the Simplon Orient Express.
The what?
Simplon.
Simplon?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's what it's actually called. That's the name of the company.
Simplon Orient Express. Sorry, I don't know what that means.
Well, it's like Kodak. It's a name.
Never heard of it. Means nothing to me. So, what are you saying?
I mean, the Orient Express is elaborate and like that.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's actually a bit overloady. Do you know what I mean? Because every single shot is sweeping. There was a series of shots that you see of the Orient Express going through the mountains.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, okay, we get it. It's going through the mountains and it's snowy. And most of us watching know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I felt that was a little bit too much.
I thought the start with all the extra bits they've added, and I must say John Malkovich,
Kenneth Branagh.
You see, it's interesting that there's been two new styles, new portrayals, character portrayals of Poirot. The John Malkovich, which came out last year, and obviously Kenneth Branagh, which came out last year. But Kenneth Branagh, that I just can't get over the moustache, and I don't think he's endearing.
I'll tell you what I can't get over, that the moustache colouring doesn't match his hair. Now I know that beards and hair don't always match, but generally as a rule they're similar. But he's got kind of reddish hair, reddish brown hair, and a grey sort of salt and pepper beard.
And a
moustache.
goatee. And he's got a thing
Well,
there.
it's kind of this big moustache that comes all the way here. Yeah, it does. It looks kind of unreal.
Yeah.
Even though it is meant to be very well manicured and whatever they call the word for beard tidying. I don't know. I don't believe Branagh. That's the problem.
No, I don't either.
It's Kenneth Branagh pretending to be Poirot.
Doing a different take on Poirot, which for me doesn't really work.
And also, I found Johnny Depp's performance a bit odd as well.
His enunciation of things.
Well, I was missing the lines. I just couldn't hear what he was saying. So far, visually great, bit OTT. Storyline, I'm not sure why they've added all the extra bits at the beginning. Performances, okay. Camera work, top notch.
Yeah.
The beautiful way they track them when they're boarding the train from outside all the way along was really fantastic. So it is well directed. We've not finished it yet. We had to stop because we were like falling asleep. So clearly it's not that good, really. So yeah.
Also, the makeup of the carriages of the train is a bit confusing.
What do you mean?
Well, because when they get on the train at the beginning and then they track them through the lounge car, then they track them through the dining car, then they track them to the cabin cars, of which I believe there are two, and then when you see the long shot of the train seems to only have four carriages, including the engine. But at one point they talk about the other class of passenger. God knows where they must be dragging them along the rail on skateboards or something, because I don't see any room in that train for any other third class passengers or standard class passengers. So, because there was the VIPs and then there was, it's, give me Albert Finney.
Really?
Yeah, I think...
Give me David Suchet, Paul.
Well, yeah, but for the Orient Express, I think the Orient Express, Murder on the Orient Express is, David Suchet is great, but the film, I think is, I like all the characters in the film better than in David Suchet's.
No.
But they're bigger actors, so...
No, I don't agree with you. I think it was far too OTT, the Albert Finney film.
But was that the?
I don't
Was
actually.
that him or the film?
I don't rate Albert Finney. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
I
not.
don't.
But I liked the film.
But it was OTT. It was. No, it was. I don't know.
I hope they're going to do
They're
more Malkovich. Poirot.
They're not my favourite things anyway. I mean, I'm not a huge Agatha Christie fan. You are, but I'm not. I mean, I'll watch them, but that's it. I'm not. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch them. There's not a lot I would go out of my way to watch, to be honest.
Well, we don't go to the cinema, do we?
No,
We
but
don't actually go out of our way.
You
to
will
watch
happily
them.
sit here all day and watch TV.
If I'm doing something else, yeah.
You will. Whereas I won't do that.
No, you're going to
I
do
would
music or
rather do something else.
But I'm doing something else at the same time. I'm rarely just watching
I don't
TV.
think that's healthy, Paul.
No, mostly not.
It's not. I don't think it is.
I'm having my tea. Chamomile and honey.
I've been crocheting. I'm crocheting a scarf.
You're
And-
doing really well.
I am doing well.
Have you got it?
Pass me my crochet ball.
Oh, it's over there.
Pass it to me now.
Shall I take it out?
No, because I don't want the hook to come loose. In my glamorous crocheting bag, I've had this blue bag keeping my yarn together for a long time actually. So, you know, plastic bags, if you reuse. Where are we? Oh dear.
Don't unravel it.
I'm not going to unravel it, silly.
Oh no. What's happened?
Nothing's happened.
Oh, nothing's
Paul.
happened. Nothing's happened.
Just caught on another bit of yarn, that's all. I do apologise for the delay.
Is that red in there?
There's a red, yeah. Oh.
Shall I hold that?
No. Alright. So this is my scarf.
I'm quite impressed.
I'm in the middle of a row at the moment. So it's sort of like that.
It doesn't look like a shrimp, does it?
No. It's quite nice. I'm using, it's a test piece. And it's quite long.
What do you mean it's a test piece?
Well, I'm testing the overall.
You're not going to unravel it.
No, I'm gonna wear it.
Oh right.
It's a teal. So I'm sort of partway through a row at the moment. So
It looks
there we
like a
are.
teal anaconda. I'm very impressed by that.
There we are. So it's going well. So I'm getting into it now. I'm getting into it and enjoying it. So things like that, peaceful, quiet pastimes, are something that I really enjoy. Yeah, there we are. Lovely. Thought I'd update you on that. Keep you in the loop, so to speak. See what I did there?
I did that. I saw what you did. Yeah.
Not just a pretty face.
No.
Baking.
Gosh, a lot of
Been getting
baking.
into, well, not a lot of baking.
A lot of baking on Planet Vegetaria.
People have been sharing their baking stories, and we've been baking bread as usual, normal. We do our own bread. I made a gorgeous chocolate cake, of which there are still a few slices left. We deposited a couple of big slices down to our friend down the road the other day. Paul knocked and delivered it to her at distance, social distancing. And she thoroughly enjoyed it. In fact, she'd eaten it within the first few minutes of receiving it.
Both
Both
slices.
I sent her a message to say, why not try one of the slices warm?
It was too late.
And by the time I'd sent that, she'd eaten both. So it's clearly a good cake, and it is a bloody good cake, actually. The recipe is on Planet Vegetaria. That's a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual. So we wanted to mention baking because I think during lockdown. It's quite a good thing to do if you've got a few bits and pieces in the cupboard. And the reason I say that is because with this cake, I didn't want to ice it. I didn't want to cover it in sickly sweet icing sugar.
Which I don't like.
So what I did, I had a box of Lindor chocolates.
Mum gave you them for Christmas.
Dark Lindor chocolates. And I melted them in the microwave and poured it in between the cake and on top of the cake for a delicious instant icing. And it worked.
Well, we had it on Friday, didn't we?
And it was
molten and gooey and lovely. But then yesterday when it had set.
Yeah.
The what they call Lindor had set, and it was sort of like, well, not crunchy, but it had that nice sort of firm
like
texture to it. It
like
was,
an
yeah.
icing.
And I think that was a very good idea.
Well, I'm full of good ideas, I think you'll find, Paul.
When he said that he didn't want to do icing with icing sugar and just water because it'd be too sweet, I said, why don't you do a mashed potato icing? And that's where you mash potato up and you add icing sugar to it or powdered sugar to it, and you can use that as an icing.
And I said, why don't you go down the bloody allotments? Because that idea is just ridiculous. I would never waste good potatoes in that way. Really?
You could do it with carrots as well. You overcook the carrots so that they're really mushy, and then you just dab them off, and then you mash them up, and you add sugar to them, and you can. It's a wartime thing.
Yes, well, we're not in wartime, are we?
No.
No, we're not. We don't need to be using carrots.
Parsnip would be good, wouldn't it? Because it's sweet anyway.
None of. I no.
Beetroot.
You can say as many vegetables as you want, it's still not going to convince me that that is a substitute that I'll be using on a cake. No.
No, you weren't impressed by that idea.
Why did you want to talk about rhubarb?
Oh yes, I was given 3.5 pounds of rhubarb the other day by a neighbouring plot holder, and I'm wondering whether I make a rhubarb cake with it, like an upside down cake, or a crumble.
Well, I prefer a crumble. And don't make it so it completely falls apart. I like my rhubarb to have some
texture,
substance to it. I can't bear that liquid stewed rhubarb.
Oh, I love stewed rhubarb. It's like a lovely compote.
No, bloody no.
So don't cook it before I do that. Just chop it up and do a crumble.
I just think it's lovely when it's firm but yielding.
Say that again.
Yielding.
Maybe put some lemon. I'll put some lemon zest with it. That would be nice.
And it's also time to remind you that on Planet Vegetaria, on a Wednesday evening, it's quiz night.
What's the categories this week?
I don't know, I've not thought of them yet.
Maybe we should get everybody to come up with a question.
No, definitely not. Absolutely not. So, was there anything else?
It's been a busy week this week, hasn't it? Because we did the live on Friday as well. So we did quiz night on Wednesday, and then we did the live on Friday. So if you haven't watched the live, have a look at the live. Because it's quite different, really, the live, isn't it? Well, because it's live, really. And obviously we have a chance to say hello to most people. Though this week, those comments were disappearing, weren't they?
Yes, Paul, they were.
We'll have to see how to fix that. That was very odd.
I don't think you can fix that. That's the way it is.
Oh, right, okay. So we had to keep on scrolling it up and down. Oh! We had a bee in our chimney. Whilst you were getting ready, it came out, and it wasn't a bee. It was a hornet. So I put it out the front door.
Right. Well, it sounds like there's another one. So how are we going to get rid of the hornet's nest that's probably in
No,
our
it's
chimney?
not a hornet's nest. No.
How do you know?
Well, I don't know.
No, you don't know, Paul.
No, I don't know. We'll have to get a chimney sweep in at some point.
Well, that was your job to do in October, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it
That
didn't
you
happen.
didn't do.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, I can hear something else.
No.
Anyway, it's time to go now. So bloody thank you for watching. Take care, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.